Hi, I'm Elizabeth Grady, and I'm the events manager with the Southern Museum of Flight, and we're here now with Brian Burke, and he is the Education Outreach Coordinator for the Southern Museum of Flight. And Brian, the question is, who or what inspired you to fly?
Well, I'll tell you that I'm a retired Navy pilot, and initially, my dream in the Navy was to go in the special warfare community. And so for some of you out there who know what I'm talking about, you'll get it. Spec War is kind of a special thing to do, what we know as the SEAL teams. But my second choice was aviation, and graduating from the academy way back when I did, I was selected to go aviation. And so, for me, the inspiration to fly kind of came late in life. But when I think back on the kinds of things that I did when I was growing up, I was certainly fascinated with airplanes. And for example, I built a lot of different models of especially World War II aircraft. I love Navy jets. My father was a Navy man, so I was drawn to the Navy as a service. And in the end, of course, being selected for aviation, I got a chance to fly. Now, as a young man, I used to look at airplanes, and when I was lucky enough to travel, on commercial aircraft, I thought it was really great, and I thought it was really cool. But I never thought it was something that I could do, and I don't exactly know why, but it just wasn't something that was kind of in my realm of possibility. So when I think about, kind of the inspiration to fly, certainly a lot of that came from what I like to say, a calling to serve my country. But what I want to communicate to all of you out there, especially you young ones, is that, this is a real possibility for anyone who wants to do it. And you'll hear time and time again that, yeah, you got to study hard, you got to get good grades in school. There's no doubt. You got to keep as many doors open as you can, especially if you want to fly. I was fortunate enough to go through a military training program with the Navy, and I'll tell you that it was probably the toughest course of study that I've ever, not probably, it was definitely the toughest course of study that I've ever done in my life. The second toughest course was learning how to be a flight instructor. So I was privileged to earn my wings as a Navy pilot. I was even more privileged to train young men and women in our Navy, in our Coast Guard, and our Marine Corps to teach them how to fly, young men and women who, just like me, had never flown before in their life, others who had, but most of them came with no prior flight experience. And so as a military aviator, I had a fantastic career. I got to fly a lot of different types of aircraft. I primarily flew helicopters in the fleet, something a little bit different than what we see behind us here, which is a really great looking Mi-24 Hind. It's an attack helicopter. I flew, sort of what I'd like to call the attack version of a helicopter in the Navy. It was a submarine hunter. We also had missiles and all kinds of cool weapons, but a very technical aircraft to fly. So, being a pilot on an aircraft like that was a very small portion. You had to be a tactician. You had to really study hard. And, our job, maybe wasn't as glamorous as some of the kinds of things you think about when you think of naval aviation, like our carrier pilots. I mean, those guys are incredible aviators who do what I think is probably the toughest flying in the service. But, we helicopter guys, we had some tough times too. So, I guess the point that I want to make to everybody out there is, if you're a young person who wants to fly, it's an attainable goal. You got to work towards it. No one's going to give you your wings. You've got to earn them. But study hard. You'll hear other people on this same sort of interview series, like Mr. Barnes, who's an incredible combat veteran from World War II. He said you got to study your math, you got to study your science, you got to get grades in school. There's no way around that. All right. Piloting, flying an aircraft is a demanding profession. It's a rewarding one for sure. But we hope that if you guys come and visit us here at the museum, we'll have a chance to show you a little bit about what that means to be a pilot. And we'd love to have you. We'd love to inspire you guys to fly. If you have questions, you know where to come find us. So come see us soon.
Yeah, and we hope that you take the opportunity to come visit Brian Burke. He's an amazing person, and he will teach you quite a bit. And I know I've learned a lot from you. So we hope to inspire you to fly, of course, during this Veterans Day event on November 11th at 11:30 and 7 p.m. Tickets are available at eventbrite.com, at heavierthanair.eventbrite.com. Thank you so much, and we hope to see you soon.